I welcome all of you once again to my class. I hope all are keeping fine. So today I am going to take the continuation of lesson 4. This is of class 5. I am dealing with ICSE syllabus Cordova publications. Please like, share and please subscribe to my channel. If you like to hear my further chapters from my textbook, and please follow me on my Instagram page also. Now let's go to the continuation of this lesson. Read these words aloud. Mount, solemn, sternly, auspicious, rustling. Answer orally. What surprised the parents of the sixth coward when they were told about the judgment? The fair judgment that was beyond the age of the coward surprised the parents of the sixth coward. B. Tick the correct answer in each. Number 1. The large dash looked like a king's judgment seat. It is the large mound. Number 2. It was very strange that as soon as someone sat on the throne, he became serious and stern just like a king. Third, the king had asked the priest to find an auspicious date for him to sit on the throne. 4. On looking closely, the king saw the carvings of the Garudas. Write T for true and F for false statements. The village cowards played the game of hide and seek. False. Number 2. The coward on the judgment seat took a fair decision. True. Number 3. The king was able to sit on the throne. False. Number 4. The throne had 24 Garudas. True. Number 5. The king was never unjust or cruel to any living being. False. Now, read and answer the following questions. What type of game was played by the cowards? Describe it. The children played the game of having trials. One of them acted like a king, while the others acted like people having quarrels. Number 2. Why did the king ask his men to dig up the ground? The king asked so because he wanted to get the throne of King Vikramaditya. Number 3. What happened when the king was about to sit on the throne? When the king was about to sit on the throne, one of the 24 Garudas stopped him and asked a question. Number 4. Only a person who has a pure heart can sit on this throne. What does the Garuda mean to say here? The Garuda meant to say that just sitting on the throne of King Vikramaditya would not make anyone wise and just ruler. To sit on it, one should have been wise in one's actions. Number 5. What had happened 23 other times when the king went to sit on the throne? There were 24 Garudas carved on the throne. Each time the king went to sit on the throne, one of the Garudas stopped him to ask a question. It had happened 23 times before the king proceeded for 24th time. Number 6. Why was the young coward allowed to sit on the throne of King Vikramaditya? The young coward was permitted to sit on the throne because he was pure at heart and he had never been cruel or unjust. Number 7. Why do you think the king wanted the throne? The king wanted the throne because it could help him to become a famous king. Next is reference to context. Read the sentence and answer the questions that follow. This time I am not going to ask the same question. Who said these words and to whom? That is, the last Garuda said these words to the king. B. What was the question referred to here? The question was, are you really worthy of sitting on this throne? C. What was the new question that was asked? The new question to the king was whether he had understood why the Garudas asked him if he had been cruel or unjust. D. What happened next? The king said that he had understood that the coward was permitted to sit on the throne as he was pure at heart and he had never been cruel or unjust. He announced that he would not sit on the throne and would rather try to become wise. Next is Hott's question. Why do you think the king could not sit on the throne even after fasting and praying for many days? He could not sit on the throne because, though unaware, he might have been cruel and unjust at times. Next is grammar. Read these sentences. You are going to study about adverbs. The coward solved the problem wisely. The king spoke loudly. In the first sentence, the word wisely tells us more about the action solved. So, how did the coward solve the problem? Wisely. In the second sentence, the word loudly tells us more about the action spoke. So, how did the king speak? The king spoke loudly. Both words add to the verbs, or in the other words tells us more about the verbs. Such words are called adverbs. An adverb is a word that tells us more about or modifies a verb, an adjective or another adverb. The four types of adverbs are: the adverb of manner tells us how or in what manner an action is done. So, adverb of manner tells us in what manner the action is done. Example, the cowards are playing happily. Then, next is adverb of place. Adverb of place tells us where or at what place an action is done. Example, God is everywhere. Then, adverb of time tells us when or at what time an action is done. Example, please come soon or I will leave. So, this is adverb of time, tells us the time of the action. That is, please come soon or I will leave. Then, adverb of frequency tells us how often an action takes place. Example, Ram always works sincerely. So, this shows the adverb of frequency, always. Ram always works sincerely. Now read the sentences, then read the questions. Lastly, write the adverb in the space provided. The tortoise walked slowly. How did the tortoise walk? Slowly. S-L-O-W-L-Y, slowly. Number 2. Rajan will come home. Rajan will come today. When will Rajan come? Today. Number 3. Come back immediately. When should I come back? Immediately. Number 4. Don't go outside. It is raining. Where should I not go? Outside. Next is underline the adverbs in these sentences and write their kinds. Number 1. The wind blew softly. Softly is adverb of, it shows the adverb of manner. Number 2. Our teacher plays games with us sometimes. So, sometimes here is the adverb. And what type of adverb? It is adverb of frequency. Then, number 3. I am never going to disobey you. So, here the adverb is never. So, what type of adverb is this? Adverb of frequency. Number 4. The weightlifter lifted the weights easily. So, the adverb is easily. It shows the adverb of manner. Number 5. The cat has disappeared. It is nowhere. So, here the adverb is nowhere. So, adverb of, it shows the adverb of place. Number 6. We often visit this place in holidays. So, here the adverb is often. Often is the adverb of frequency. Now, fill in the blanks with suitable adverbs given in the help box. Help box is given. Leave the room dash. Leave the room immediately. Number 2. The boy ran dash and reached school in time. The boy ran fast and reached school in time. Number 3. As soon as I opened the window, the sunlight spread everywhere. Number 4. I dash feel that I should join the yoga class. That is, I sometimes feel. Number 5. Hold the flowers dash or the petals may fall off. It is, hold the flowers gently or the petals may fall off. Number 6. Go and look for your ball dash, it is not here. Elsewhere it is. So go and look for your ball elsewhere. Go and look for your ball. Go and look for your ball elsewhere. It is not here. Now next is degrees of comparison. In the given dialogue, fast is an adverb and faster is the comparative form of fast. Adverbs can also be compared like adjectives. Positive, comparative and superlative are the 3 degrees of comparison of adjectives or adverbs. Listen, there are 3 types of degrees of comparison, that is the positive, comparative and superlative. These are the 3 degrees of the comparison of adverbs. Example, Rani worked hard for the exams. Seema worked harder than Rani. Neelam worked the hardest of them all. Then Rahul ran fast in the race, but Ashish ran faster than Rahul. Now you have to positive, comparative and superlative. Near, nearer, nearest. Loudly, more loudly, most loudly. Little, less, least. Confidently, more confidently, most confidently. Now fill in the blanks with the correct degree of adverbs given in the brackets. You should drive the car carefully. Roshni works more efficiently than Aditi. Number 3. The dancers danced more gracefully than the other dancers. Number 4. Among everyone in the class, Tarun performed the best. Number 5. The cowards talked loudly while playing. Next is the phrasal verbs. Read the given sentence. The fireman had to break into the room to rescue the child. In the above sentence, the highlighted part is called the phrasal verb. So break into, that is called the phrasal verb. A phrasal verb is a verb followed by a preposition or an adverb, and this combination creates a different meaning from the original verb done. Break into is a phrasal verb that means to enter forcibly, which is different from the verb enter. A list of some phrasal verbs is given below. Get back, that means meaning is to return. Get on, meaning is to step onto a vehicle. Then next is get over, meaning is to recover from an illness or difficulty. Next is get up, that means to get out of the bed or chair. Next is get away, that is to meaning to go on a vacation. Next one is get along with, meaning is to like each other. Now complete the following sentence using the phrasal verbs with get. Make changes to their forms as necessary. I was surprised at how well my friend and my sister got along. Number 2. They got back from their vacation last week. Number 3. Reena just got over the most painful phase of her illness. Number 4. We worked so hard this year that we had to get away for 2 weeks. Number 5. We will be late if you don't let us get on the bus. Number 6. Nancy gets up at 6 in the morning. I hope you all understood the grammar part of this lesson. Please like, share and please subscribe to my channel. And I know many of you are watching my channel, and please subscribe to my channel, and please tell your friends also to subscribe. Then please follow in my Instagram page also. Okay children, I'll meet you in the next class. Until then, bye.